Λοιπόν, τα ελληνικά μου είναι λίγο χάλια. Είναι χάλια. Τέλος πάντων. Έχω τρελό straight fried. Δεν έχω βάλει ούτε τσάναξη, δεν θα ανοίγει τίποτα. Λοιπόν, τώρα η παρουσίαση θα γίνει στα αγγλικά, hope you don't mind. For translations, speak later if you want. So, when people give you advice, they're really just talking to themselves in the past. I think this is what suits the situation, because each one of us has a different way to approach life and work. But I want to share anyway my experience on the freelance profession and some kind of tips that I like to give to myself that I earned through good and bad experiences in the last years I've been doing this job. So I will try to go through some of these issues, but first of all I will introduce myself for a moment, to be polite. So, I come from the center of Italy, a lovely region called Abruzzo, where nature, let's say, rules over man, and life revolves mostly around drinking and getting drunk, and food and panigieria. People are hard-working people and hard-headed, mostly. Our greatest inventions are dogs that look like sheep, and this amazing barbecue, which is exactly the shape of the calamari, which I love. Also, this is the state of graphic design. The festival of Bucapula, which is a fantastic festival, by the way, but okay. And the other, I really don't know what it is, it's Coridi, only sponsors. So you understand that eventually I have to, to study and to have some experience in design. I have to leave the place. So I went a bit around studying and working between Milan, Barcelona, and then here. Now each of the city gave me a lot to learn, but I think that the biggest lesson, which is also the starting point of this presentation, is that things never come to you the way you want them, and you have to work hard. And learn to be resilient, meaning embrace every experience, good or bad that it is, and always try to evolve. So that's why I will start from the bad experiences, because I think the bad experiences are much more powerful when it comes to learn and push you towards a new direction. So for example, when I was in Barcelona, I found this job in this agency. We had like great clients, and the team was amazing, and in general it was a great job. Then I decided to move to Greece. I found a job before moving, and despite the great presentation that this new job gave me, like, oh, we have the best clients, we do so many creative projects, and the space, the actual studio space, was one of the best I've ever seen. All I did for a year, almost a year, was this. Coupons for, Slavenich, Vasilopoulos, Prospora here, Prospora there, etc., etc. And of course I was quite depressed eventually. But the bright side is that this gave me the push I needed to think more seriously about what I wanted to do in life. I mean, each one of us has some experiences that affect us most, affect our final choices more than others. So, for me this was one. Combined also with the fact that for some reason, unfortunately, I wasn't very lucky with the bosses I had when I was an employee. And, okay, I mean, if your bosses happen to be people like this, trust me, you start questioning your life choices eventually, and you want to get out of there. Anyway, my point is, I believe that if we learn to be resilient, meaning to be able to turn adversities on our advantage and rebound some assholes that we can find on our way, I think this is a great quality both for work and life in general. Now, because I talked about bad experiences, experiences, I wanted also to show you some nice things that I've been lucky to do during these past years. So here's a little video, if it goes. Sooner or later, all of us have the thought of going freelance for different reasons. And that's a very appealing thought. But one needs to know that it's not all a process. And often the reality is, of this profession is far from our expectations. I mean, it's a wonderful job indeed. But there are some kind of, I don't know, dark sides to it. And I think what really counts in the end is to find the balance between all these antitheses of the job. So I will start with the education, balance, education. I think the base of a freelance career is first of all to find a job in an office. Because nothing gives you all the experience and the vision on how to approach a project and to work on a team and to respond to orders and to solve problems as being an employee, as being part of an office. There are many things that nobody teaches you during your studies. And then after some years, it's up to you if to continue as an employee or being a freelance. They're both awesome ways to design. In case of the freelance, deciding to go on your own is, of course, a risk. Because you leave the comfort of a stable job and salary, of course, and face something unexpected, no matter how prepared you are. So things happen, but this is good, because once you have to find the guts to change something in your life, many new opportunities come up and doors open. The same way, because when you work on your own, you're totally responsible both for the success and the failure of your projects. You gotta learn that despite the fear of fucking up, which we all have, each experience makes you a better professional. So don't take failure as a bad thing, because in reality you're just shaping up. There is no failure, only experiences lay on how to shoot. You versus you. Now, freelance job means that you have to constantly be in the loop for new projects and new clients. So the self-promotion and the business promotion is vital. But the point is, we have to learn to promote ourselves for what we are, without, many bullshit around. If I'm one person working from home by myself, I cannot pretend to promote myself as a big firm, because this is not healthy both for me or my client. We have to understand that many times clients look for freelancers when they cannot afford some bigger agency. So it's in our interest to show ourselves for what we are. For example, promoting your single self as a team of many professionals when you're alone in your underwear, in your, room with your laptop on your knees, it's just ridiculous. I mean, we have to learn to be aware of our size and be proud of it, because that's what we want to show. Same goes for the content of our business promotion. I mean, we live in the age of vanity, and we have to be conscious that one thing is self-promotion and one thing is feeding our self-esteem. It's two different things. So things that are not related to our business only make us look pathetic, I think. For example, promoting our work through our looks or posting drunken pictures of us where clients can see them, or just stating that everything going on with our life is something creative. It's just ridiculous, and I think it's crap communication. In the end, I think the secret is consistency, which is very simple. Now, sorry, I have a lot of notes. Anyway, designer versus hero. So, I said we live in the age of vanity, and another big truth, unfortunately, is that we live in the age of bullshit. But we do this job because we love it, and although creativity is a very vast and open concept, at the end of the day, this is our job, and this is the job, as many others. And we work to be able to live on something that we like, but also to pay the bills, and hopefully help some clients on the way. So there is no need to feed our ego and act cool, calling ourselves names like those ones, for example. Pretending to be something that we're not, and pretending to be one step above the mass. At the end of the day, when we sit and work, it's business, and that's it. So here there are some definitions that I'm sure you have heard around, unfortunately also from colleagues, which I think are upsetting, because, okay, I don't want to be cynical, so thank God I found out that many other great professionals have discussed the same situation. So here, for example, is the thought of Sackmeister about storytellers. No, fuck it, you're not a storyteller, that's it. I mean, nowadays everybody like to call themselves storytellers, which is, I don't know, I don't really understand. Jessica Walsh on Design Will Save the World basically said, design doesn't save the world. Design can raise awareness on some issues that can promote and raise awareness to change the world. And my favorite, which is Alex Trochu about the distinction between art and design, is I find it very important, because art and design are two different things, which doesn't mean that we cannot do both, but we have to learn to distinguish them. I really like the act of freedom and act of empathy. I think it sums up. Anyway, client versus cyborg. So, unfortunately, there are clients and there are cyborgs. Okay, the difference, I think it's simple. I think it's in the approach and the way they give us feedback. These are some typical characteristics of a client who is not being serious with you. A client with capital C, I think, simply who hires you with the knowledge that you can bring something good to his project. A client is none of those words before. A client gives you constructive feedback to help you evolve the project, and understands that the success is in mutual respect. So when the feedback is like, oh, this is shit, I don't like it, it lacks the wow factor, it doesn't really bring anything to the table. A cycle, on the other hand, says things like this. It will make your life difficult till the end of time. So I think that the key here is to be able to recognize what kind of person we have in front from the very beginning, as fast as we can, basically, because basically if we learn to do what they do for criminals, which is profiling, it's try to identify the intentions of the potential client, not criminal. I think this is a good quality to have. Create versus destroy. Or in other words, always question yourself. We have to learn to be the first critics of our work. Rarely the first idea is the best one, and we have to learn to push ourselves a little further, I think. The great industrial designer Achille Castiglione used to say, start the design process thinking of what you should not do, to eventually find what you should do, which I try to take as my mantra, because I find it a beautiful way to, to make order in this mess that is an idea at the very beginning. Dream project versus daily craft. Because the reality of this job is that dream jobs happen, but they're rare. I don't mean to shout any dream, of course, but I'm just saying that you have to work hard, and working hard, eventually you will get to do nice projects, but on a daily basis, what really pays the bill sometimes is the boring job that you would rather not take, but you take it because you have to eat, and it's well paid. This goes for everybody, even big design studios do this, work this way. So be patient, and eventually, if you work hard, better things will come to you. I'm sure. This is sure. Now, fantasy versus real projects. I mean, it's very important to take some time from the real work to make some personal projects. It's refreshing. We show the best we can do, we evolve our style, we enrich our portfolio. It's an awesome way to do, to stay creative, I think, and to evolve. But when I give myself a project, I'm both client and designer, and chances are I will give myself a project, I will do, I will see it, and I will say, oh man, you're real, I like it. There is no nemesis. I call nemesis all those things that in real life change the track of your idea, like client feedback, budget, production limitations, these things. So what about these limitations? I mean, what about the user experience? What about make this project work in real life? So personal projects to improve our skills and portfolio, I think they're great. But a portfolio filled exclusively with fantasy projects doesn't really demonstrate that we are good at solving problems, and design in the end is about that, is problem solving. Now, because design is also the balance between those two, creativity and time. I mean, we need to be creative on any project, but at the end of the day, what counts more is the time that we spend being creative, of course, but also executing, meeting, explaining, doing research, calling phones, answering emails, etc. So the freelance career is an endless run against time. Because when you have to take care of so many things, of all the aspects of a business, really there's not much time left for yourself. So all this time that we give to others counts as much as the creativity that we offer. So we have to learn to, not forget about that and keeping it in count. And because, as I said, there's not much time left for ourselves when we work like that. We have to learn to find it. I'm honestly still working on it. It's not easy. But the truth is that we have to unplug. It's the only way to recharge our brain and reboot our creativity. Someone said this, and I think it's a big truth, want it or not. Good versus bad, and I'm done. As I said, this job sometimes gives you great rewards and other times hits you. But I find it a beautiful job because you really learn to keep everything in balance. And I think that's the secret in the end, as in anything else, I think, in finding the balance between all those aspects that I'm talking about. It is a lot easier to face all the good and the bad moments of the work. If you're doing something that you really love, I think it gives you natural enthusiasm. And in the end, this is what we want to show to the world. So this is it for me. Thank you so much.